Today we're going to talk about local business listings. And a listing is something as simple as searching for a business through Google or any other search engine and finding what comes up when you search. 910 West shows up with their address, phone number, and when we look over here, we can see that these are some of the different pages that are on their website. So we can go straight to their website. The listing will take us straight to the business's website. And here are those same choices that we were given on Google. So if we click on here, one of the things that we're going to talk about today is how listings can be wrong, how there are duplicate listings out there, and the importance of making sure that the listing information that's on the web is correct. So while this says that there are more reviews at merchantcircle.com, although the information for the business is correct, there actually are no reviews on this site. So that's a small inaccuracy, but they are rampant across the web as far as the information. Here's a map that shows where the business is. So we always want to make sure that that is correct. Even sometimes if the business address is correct, the map location is not always correct.
And by map location, you mean that little pin, right?
The little pin that's on Google Maps. A lot of the sites use Google Maps. So if it's incorrect on Google Maps, it's going to be incorrect anywhere on any other listing site that pulls the information from Google Maps or Google Plus, Google Business Pages, all of those, as well as other listing sites. Insider Pages is another one, and we're going to go into the back end here on this site. But here's the information that gives about the business here. So that's always important to have. Keywords, SEO is integrated into the business description on the business. As much as we can say about what the business does, in this case, of course, local marketing, internet marketing, web design, some of the things that we do, the business does for their clients. This particular site allows us to add photos, and of course we can edit the business. So that's what we're going to go into right now. So I've already logged in, and this will take us to the dashboard, which is where we control the listing information. So although I've uploaded a number of pictures to this particular site, after probably 2 or 3 weeks, all those pictures are still not there. And this one, although I took it down, is still there as well. So this is something that requires maintenance because you have to go back in and either change the information again, delete it. It doesn't always take place right away. Any kind of changes that you make don't take place right away. So here is where we would go to change the information. So this would be important if you were to change the name of the business, obviously. If the business's website URL changes, here's where you would change it so that it shows up correctly on the listing site. A lot of the dashboards for these listings are very similar, but none of them are exactly the same. Obviously, this is going to be the contact information for the business, so you're going to put that in there. When you claim the listing, so in other words, if you see it on the web and it's has not yet been claimed by the business, when you set that account up in order to have access through the dashboard, then that's where you would put a contact email. It doesn't have to be the business's email address. It can be a whole other email account set up just for listing information from all the different sites, which is what I recommend anyway, because a lot of the times it's just doesn't have anything to do with business. It only has to do with listings, the information that they send you. So here's where we can enter categories for the business, what kind of work they do. Some listing sites only allow one category to be entered. Some allow multiple. On this particular site, only 5 tags are allowed. And so we try to choose the ones that the business tells us is the most accurate and prevalent for their business. If there's some kind of a tagline, some of these listing sites allow us to put that in. Most allow us to have a description of the business, but not all allow us to put in a tagline. So if there's other information that we can enter, again, trying to keep SEO in mind, we put it in where we can on the different sites. So here are the pictures I put in. However, they don't all show up on that front screen when someone's searching Insider Pages for a business. They don't always show up, but they are there. So if I were to have made any changes here, changed the business name, then I would just update the business. It's not going to do anything now because I didn't change anything. But this is also, of course, where you would click if the business is closed. And that doesn't necessarily mean the listing disappears. In fact, it'll probably show up and say that it's closed, but all the information will still be there. And in order to change any kind of information regarding the actual location, which is really important if especially because 910 West changed locations within the past year. This information obviously held the previous address, so we had to go in and change that. Sometimes the phone number changes, and that's very important to keep updated, obviously, so that people can contact you in order to become clients or to continue to be clients. Because this particular business, us, 910 West, is pretty much by appointment only because there are no set office hours. We have it as closed, but otherwise, because some sites give us the option of adding in additional hours, such as open 24 hours for emergency or by appointment only, then I put that information in. Otherwise, if they don't have business hours set, then I can't put those in. Some sites also allow us to have offer coupons, and I do have a list of those sites that offer free coupons that we can offer to the clients. That also changes, though. Sometimes it's an offer that the site will eventually charge for, so that changes as well, whether it's going to be something free for the people who have a business listing or not. And then if there are reviews on the site, then you can always see, obviously there are no reviews here, even though Google told us there were. But this is where you could respond to any of those reviews if there were any here. And again, not all these sites are exactly the same. This one's pretty easy to use. And pretty straightforward. Let's see, 0 reviews. Again, remember, Google said that there were reviews on this page, so it's not all correct. And if we were to add another business, if we had more than one location, this is where we could do that. We can add another location. So the clients that we have that have more than one location, then we can usually enter all the information from the central dashboard. But there are listing sites where you have to create whole new accounts, which can be very confusing. So it's much easier if there are all the businesses that have multiple locations are able to be on one site. Okay. So one of the things I also wanted to show about incorrect listings is that even though this is obviously a Yahoo search engine, And so when we put this in, we can see where there are actually 3 different locations for 910 West and 2 different phone numbers. So while these were not here even a month ago when I was working on these listings, only the correct one was here with the correct address. The other 2 have now somehow or another pulled information from a different site and populated Yahoo's search engine. So I've been trying to delete those 2 businesses, or if I can claim them and then close the listing. But each site is different as far as what they allow you to do to get rid of those duplicate and incorrect listings.
I bet the owners of my old house are going to be excited to see that address out there.
Yeah, I mean, and when I go in here, I think there was a contact us somewhere. I had to go on this particular site. I believe I went into help because sometimes there's a contact us choice. And so here I went into contact customer care. And so but some have an actual web page and then you just put the information in there. So there are different ways of trying to get rid of that incorrect information. So keeping track of who you've contacted and when is good, because a lot of times they'll tell you how long it's going to take, anywhere from 7 days to a couple of months, or even 48 hours sometimes, until that incorrect information is deleted. But you still have to double check, because it seems to me that it always takes longer than what they say it does. Now, we've talked about Yelp in the past as far as what, especially about the changes that the site has recently made, and how pictures are more prominent on the site. And we can see that 910 West, thankfully, comes up first. Although why Yucca Tap Room has anything to do with 910 West, I have no idea. So it's always interesting the results that some of these sites give you. But here again, you can see where the map information is correct. The business address, phone number is correct. Obviously, this is going to take you to the website again, to the business's website, which is what you want. Sometimes, though, a business may not want you to go to the home page, so that's always important to remember as well. They might want it to go to their services page or a different page. So that's something also that I think is important to find out from the client, where they want this URL, this particular link, what URL they want it attached to. So here again is all the business information, the specialties or categories. Some listing sites request information regarding their history or the information on the owner, which is always good to put in, because you can always add in some SEO keywords there as well. And here are some of the pictures that are on there. So these are really good options for businesses that want to add before and after pictures, like a carpet cleaning company or upholstery cleaning. I think those are really good. People like to see results. So whatever we can give them to add information to their listing to beef up their business, so people want to contact them, so that they can actually, convert people who are checking out their listings and viewing the information on the web to actually become paying customers.